I'd like to take you back for a moment to the pilgrims landing at Plymouth Rock and how they came over from England and they were looking for religious freedom. We look at our own Senate, the LCMS, the Missouri Senate, that our church is a part of, and we are founded by immigrants. They came over from Saxony looking for freedom of religion, the freedom that they weren't experiencing in Germany. Our country is made up of immigrants. And yet you and I are living in a time where immigration is a hot button issue because we're seeing the consequences of what happens when laws that our country was founded on, laws that reflect the laws that God gave to his people, are not enforced or they're willingly broken. Law has been Laws have been given to mankind since the very beginning. Since the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve were given laws of what they were to eat and not eat. God's people, after they left Egypt, they wandered in the wilderness. They were about to enter the promised land. He gave them laws, the 10 Commandments that they were to live by. And in both of those scenarios, in the Garden of Eden and with the 10 Commandments, God's people broke those laws. And we see what happens. Sin enters in, chaos ensues. The perfect creation that God had made is broken. And you and I are continuing to deal with the consequences of the brokenness of creation. We see it playing out with the way that our country, the laws of our country are being not enforced or they're being willingly broken. But what is our response as Christians, as disciples of Christ? Luther was asked in his time period, he was facing problems with immigration. He was asked the same thing. And Luther said to love your neighbor as yourself. Luther in his time tells us to love our neighbor, to show love to our neighbor. That's how we are to respond. We are to show them the love of Jesus because we are all sinful people. We have all broken God's law, but we have been forgiven. And because you and I have been forgiven, we take that love that we have been shown and we share that with our neighbor as Luther, as Jesus tells us to do. If you'd like to know more about what Martin Luther said about loving your neighbor, then please join us for worship here at St. Matthew. Or you can visit us on our website at www.stmats.net.